going to the market, the price of platinum in US dollars has remained subdued during the past year, whilst palladium has increased to in excess of $1,900. That is as of December the 31st per ounce. Per ounce at year end compared to $950 per ounce a year ago. Rhodium outperformed everyone, increasing to above $6,000 per ounce as at the end of the year. We know where the price is now, but beyond $12,000. Combined with a weaker rand, this increased our basket price by 37% to 28,743 rands per platinum ounce. Although platinum automotive demand fell in 2019, demand for palladium and rhodium increased sustainably. That lends credence to say we're no longer a platinum producer, we are a PGM producer. We mine a basket of metals and we get the revenue basket out of what we mine. We expect that platinum will continue to be in surplus while palladium and rhodium will be in deficit. I don't need to educate you on this. China 6, as well as the world at large, with stricter emissions regulations and legislation, continues to affect the palladium demand as well as rhodium demand. And when the supply is almost not there, the growth in supply is almost not there. We can talk about substitution later, which we believe will happen. It might not be happening in big quantities now, but we do believe that there is no alternative than to substitute palladium with platinum. The large price differential between palladium, rhodium, and platinum, as well as a sustained deficits, could lead to a substitution, as I've just said. Platinum jewelry demand remains lackluster due to the ongoing slowdown in China and the potential impacts of coronavirus on demand. We are told that the factories are shut up to now, and even our PGI office is shut because there is nothing more taking place out there. People are working from home. And that will impact on, obviously, the retail sector itself. Eskom remains a key risk to South African supply. On the investment side, 1 million ounces of platinum were sold last year through investment, and which bodes well, and we hope that continues. But again, coronavirus will impact on that again, as well as the slowing down of businesses, particularly of the economies of China, because of all the maladies that befall them. The platinum industry will continue to be faced with a rising cost in 2020, particularly because of lack of sustainable and reliable utilities, electricity and water. So there will be continuous pressures. But pressures also will come, as you'd know, from continuously and mining into deep areas with lower stoping areas. So the cost pressure will continue to bear on us. The world is changing, and therefore as the world is changing and economy slows down, you will see cost pressures creeping in. But having said that, coming back to RBPlat, we have talked about records or no records, my friends here, which is a wonderful story to tell, but records mean nothing if you are not optimizing your volumes, because this is a volumes game. And therefore the challenge, and going forward 2020 and beyond, with regard to BRPM, is to optimize the mining of UG2 at South Shaft, 1, to improve the cost and relieve the pressures on the business and improve the margins better. That is number 2, and sustain the production at BRPM. We note with appreciation the good performance that BRPM has always given us for years, and therefore funding to a very large extent the development of Styldrift. So BRPM in the main has been the main funder of Styldrift, and we must thank all those who have been involved in the operations at BRPM. There has been a lot of pressure on BRPM, of course, as it transitions from Merensky to UG2. The cost pressures will therefore come to bear with us as we're mining expensive ounces in terms of, especially because of the width, but also in terms of the grade itself. So therefore, we will be relying, of course, on the basket price, but basket price itself is not enough to make you sustainable. It's all about the efficiencies that you implement in your operations, and I'm sure we are up to the task with discussions with the team. I'm pretty much confident that the team is on top of this. Going to Styldrift going forward, again, it is a volumes game. This company will stand or fall by the successes or failures of Styldrift. And therefore, it is important for us to optimize the volumes of Styldrift, and you can only do so, as Neil has said, to ramp up successfully to 230 and sustain that run rate to steady state. But also, number 2, to attend to the costs, which we are doing now, because Styldrift cannot be an expensive mine, being a mechanized mine it is. And I'm sure during the analyst presentation, which will be on the website soon, we will share more details thereof. Therefore, having said that, we are a transformed or a transforming business. We are on a journey to more transformation. We need to sustain that. And sharing with you, again, we started as a small company owning 67% of the operations in 2010. We now own 100% of the operations. We were producing just shy of 300,000 4E ounces per annum. We are destined, and we are on journey, very quickly so, to mine between 500 and 550,000 4E ounces per annum. So that is a very transformed business. With more efficiencies even, we could reach a target of 600,000 4E ounces once we are at steady state. And we are very much confident that we will reach that milestone. Styldrift is on course. I want to reiterate that. Going forward, with regard to the market, we believe that rhodium and palladium prices will hold, and mainly because of shortage of supply on the palladium side, but even more on the rhodium side. And this is on the back of stringent environmental legislation. With regard to palladium itself, with China 6 having been introduced quite earlier, it's quite surprising that even when the auto sales dropped in China, the prices of palladium did not drop. You'd have thought that when the consumption drops, the palladium prices will drop themselves. So it was quite surprising. That shows how tight the market is on the other side. Rhodium will remain tight until substitution is found, but we believe that the only substitution for rhodium is palladium, which in itself is suffering shortage of supply. And therefore, what it says is that we will see some substitution take place during the course of the year. It might not be significant, but it's a movement in that direction. It's yes, technological, but it's more about whether we should or we should not. And I think it's more about a doubt and nervousness on the side of OEMs to change immediately. Now, going forward, that we will see a lot of pressure on the grade itself, particularly as a result of contribution of UG2 from South Shaft increasing, so the grade will suffer a little bit, but we're guiding a grade of 3.9 grams per ton to 4 grams per ton. But you'll see the grade improving at Styldrift as more efficiencies come in. With regard to CapEx, for 2020, we guided 2.2 million billion rands, of which 1.5 will be expansion. Of that 1.5, 800 will be for Styldrift. SIB expenditure is expected to be between 6 and 7% of operating expenditure, with the cash operating cost per 4E ounce forecast to be between 13.3 and 14.4 thousand, for the group. That is per 4E ounce. We are pretty much confident that we will reach our milestone of 230. We are reaching sustainability of the business and the stability in the business, particularly on the production side. Yes, the metal prices and the basket price helped us quite a great deal this year, but that is not enough. We cannot survive only on the stronger basket price. We have got to optimize the volumes and in order to increase the margin and the profitability of the business.